Crisis. This is such an important area and one that impacts us all. What we see is a marked increase in the number of crises in the United States. Remember, this includes pandemics, rebellions, economic recessions and depressions, natural disasters, wars, foreign policy crises, and domestic policy crises. The world ends up getting much more complex, and this increased complexity is a breeding ground for error, crisis, and disaster. This is one of the most important topics of our time. If you want to do a deep dive on crisis, my company, 3P Coaching and Solutions, has hundreds of videos on this topic. But here's a really simple explanation. Systems want to find balance. In the body, we call this homeostasis. It's an equilibrium. In a dynamic world with infinite variables, the order we establish can't stay forever. At some point, order slides more and more into disorder. This is a natural process. Chaos is just a signal that we need to change and adapt. We adapt to find a new equilibrium, a new status quo. However, when we resist, ignore, avoid, fight change, we create conflict. It's this conflict that is the defining feature of crisis. Crisis is nothing but an indicator that we're resisting change. So when we look at the graph and see crisis is escalating, what we're seeing more and more is signals that we're fighting change. Something is out of balance, and until we can resolve it, the slaps will come harder and harder, faster and faster. Change is terrifying, but the universe does not care about comfort. Crisis is nature's way of waking us up, and the hits will only get worse until we do wake up. Something isn't working. Will we have the courage to adapt? I've dedicated my life and staked my livelihood on this exact matter. Crisis is coming, and we need strong leadership to face it. I'm often asked, do the times make the man, or does the man make the times? Man and time make each other. Leadership is a social process, meaning leadership is actually a relationship. A fascist needs a groundswell of popular opinion to thrust them into power, but only a fascist can organize and feed the masses. They need each other to exist. Leadership is how we relate to ourselves, to each other, to the environment. So it's not a role, it's not a trait, and it's not authority. Leadership is ultimately about how we dance with the situation, how we respond in the moment. And tough times are ahead. And not because of some stupid platitude about soft men and hard men. Tough times are ahead because we're resisting change. We're propping up old systems and old order that no longer serves the whole. Change is the only constant. Our decision is whether we walk alongside gracefully or get dragged through the mud forcefully. No one knows what the future has in store. We've really forgotten that the world is a dynamic, unpredictable, complicated place. Yes, we also see a dizzying increase in the amount of crises, begging us to change. But data can never tell us where we're going. For that, we need one thing: leadership. When I talk about leadership, I'm once again not just talking about the person in the White House. For all of these crises, they're going to hit us at home. The person in the White House will not stop a hurricane or a pandemic or inflation. We're each asked to learn the dance of change. We're each asked to step up and embrace the leader within. This is adaptation, and this is the future. No one is coming to save us. We, me and you, are the leaders we've been waiting for. The question is, will we have the courage to try?